So I wasn't planning to do a video on this trailer for the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out in about 2 months. And they've only just released a trailer for, which is a great sign, if ever there was one. But I just know people are going to keep asking me about it, so best option is just to do this and get it out the way. But again, I didn't want to. And part of the mystery is gone because, you know how this goes. A new MK trailer comes out, and then immediately all MK YouTubers just start posting screenshots on Twitter and going, "Whoa, bro, do you see this shit? Whoa, look at this. Is this Deadly Alliance Reptile? Is this Sub-Zero freezing Jax's arms? OMG, I can't even." And it's like, thank you guys for showing me all these things that are meant to be in the trailer that I can no longer experience with any kind of awe because it's fucking spoiled immediately. Such is the life of an MK fan, because you know how that shit got with early access to content for MK11, where it's like, yeah, just post the ending a week before the character's available. Fuck you. So, like I said, I didn't want to do this, but people will want it, so here's the compromise, right? I'm going to do it, but I'm going to put in about as much effort as the NetherRealm writers do to continuity. So let's go. Let's see what this trailer has to tell us. I mean, it's red, which tells us it's going to be violent. I see ice.
7 years ago, on a mission in Brazil,
Jax.
to capture a wanted fugitive.
So, yeah, Sonya's meant to be like some kind of outworld truther, and it sounds cringe. Oh look, Jax losing his arms.
The target has superhuman abilities.
Good job, guys. We now know how Jax loses his arms just immediately. Just show it in the trailer. Although, to be fair, that does mean I can get to work on that video about Jax's arms that I've been planning to for a while. So, there's that. Also, that was Sonya, outworld truther, talking to Cole Young. He's not Cole Turner anymore. He's Cole Young, because that makes everything better. Hold on. Yeah, better lit now. So, yeah, the OC, the Alice character, in essence. Because that's what Mortal Kombat needed, isn't it? A fucking shit-tier OC. As far as I can tell, he's just some random, boxer man. They couldn't even come up with some kind of cool superpower for him to have. He just I punch people, and that ability to punch people is going to make him better than everyone with supernatural abilities, and he's going to beat the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung. And I guarantee it. I guarantee, you fucking mark my words, because he has a daughter. I guarantee there'll be a part where during the final fight, or at least one of the later fights, maybe against Goro or something, probably in the final fight, he's losing, he's down, he's on the ground. Oh no, poor Cole, how's he going to get out of this one? And then he remembers his daughter. He's like, oh no, I have to fight for my daughter. And so he gets back up. He's like, rah! Like he was like the main character of a PlayStation exclusive. And then he goes and beats up Shang Tsung in a totally one-sided fight. That is all one-sided from this point. It's like bing, 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 boom. And Shang Tsung's like, oh no, how can I be beaten by a man with no powers? And it's like, because that's just how this goes. I mean, you've seen the influence DC's had on this series for so long. He's basically Batman. But let's try and give the rest of the trailer a chance to stand or fall on its own, no matter how little I think is going to come from it. Oh, it's new on cinema. That's cool, because they did the originals.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
What?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole.
Mortal Kombat.
It means you've been chosen.
Oh no.
History.
What do you fucking mean? They have the Dragon logo brand because they've been chosen to fight. Oh my god, that's awful. That's really awful, that. And I have to wonder how much of this dumb idea is going to factor into the plot, if at all. Like, could we not have just had, Raiden show up and say, I've seen you fight, you have potential, I want you to fight for Earthrealm? Is that too much to ask? Or could you have like in the Dead or Alive movie where those, shuriken things go flying in and, stick to people's motorbikes or boats or whatever and say, you've been selected to fight in the Dead or Alive tournament? Could we not have just had that? Well, this is Mileena. Apparently Katana's not even in this, so I imagine there must be like a cameo at some point, because it's really weird to have Mileena but not Katana. And I'm also doubtful that Mileena will die, if only because that means that you wouldn't get Katana and Mileena in the sequel they're obviously going to try and make, because, you know, the DC shared universe didn't work. So having an actual franchise with a lot of potential, that's going to be what they're going to be aiming for, I think. So let's see how bad Mileena's teeth look. I've seen glimpses, and you know, I've seen people say it's a change for the better, but we'll see.
Different cultures all over the world.
Great Kung Lao.
Great tournament.
Okay, looks on point. Raiden, Shang Tsung,
That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation
Hanzo.
to fight for something known.
So an extensive backstory for Scorpion. Good.
As Mortal Kombat.
Hang on. What? Did I show the same clip twice? Or
As more.
you saw that, right? That they showed the same shot twice in a row. And this isn't just some weird re-upload. This is from like the official Twitter for the movie. So did they fuck up in rendering, or is that the way the trailer's supposed to be? Because that's awful. But I am wondering how much focus Hanzo's going to get as a character, because I mean, you saw Scorpion's Revenge, right? You saw how... I mean, granted, this movie's going to be obviously longer than Scorpion's Revenge, so it's going to have more time to actually do the stuff. But Scorpion's Revenge... I'm going to do a video about this at some point, but like one of the big issues that movie had was trying to tell too many character stories at once. It was trying to do too much. It was trying to be MK1 and also Scorpion's story. So I'm a bit worried that that's going to happen here. I also worried that, as with that movie, Scorpion's going to get way more characterization than Sub-Zero. And I know that was Scorpion's movie, but it was fucking stupid that Sub-Zero had like 5 minutes of screen time across the whole thing when he's like the target of Scorpion's vengeance. You know, the titular revenge. I just get the feeling that Sub-Zero's going to be like a generic enforcer for Shang Tsung. Scorpion's going to be a guy who has history with him, and he's going to be like, he's somewhat righteous, coming back for revenge. Maybe fight for Shang Tsung at some point, but there's going to be a Scorpion Sub-Zero fight. We can guarantee that, even if they don't show us anything in the trailer. But I do worry that Bi-Han's going to get the short end of the stick again. Which is funny, because the first time the series had some kind of expansion to focus on another character's story, it was Bi-Han. And yet, ever since then, it's been nothing for the guy. So hopefully we'll get something decent with him here. But then it becomes a question of, if we do get decent characterization from a decent amount of focus, will that make the film feel too muddled? Will there be too much stuff going on at once? Because that's always an issue fighting game movies have, is you either have a lot of the characters have no backstory and focus on what's important to tell a decent story overall, or you instead try and include everyone, and then there's just too much going on and it's just impossible to follow. It's one of the reasons why they really should be adapted as TV shows. You know, a Mortal Kombat live-action TV show, like, with the look of this, or ideally a bit close to the games, but like something like looks like this, but on TV, kind of like Game of Thrones, I guess. That would be the ideal, I think. We'll see how this guy does, because, I mean, when they did Legacy, the actor who played Scorpion / Hanzo was one of the highlights of that show. So hopefully this guy can do as good a job as Ian Anthony Dale. So, but we have to see that bit one more time.
As Mortal Kombat.
What the hell?
These are your champions.
Oh, there's the heroes.
That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
I must observe. So we already know that Kano's not going to have the faceplates, at least not at first. It's something under the skin. And he had some weirdo saying, well, that's a step up from the original movie. And it's like, are you fucking high? Yeah, like the one defining physical trait of the character, get rid. It's like... I feel like if the Metal Gear Solid movie has a flashback to Outer Heaven, and Big Boss is there and he's not got his eye patch, and someone's like, this is a glow up, boys. It's like, No! You fool! But I need to observe.
Kano.
He's firing... I hope my cursor shows up in the video, but he's firing from his left eye. So either he can just fire from both eyes, which is totally wrong. That's a Jarek thing. He can fire from both eyes, which is just so wrong for Kano, or they flip the footage. Hopefully they've just flipped the footage, and because someone didn't really think it through in editing for the trailer, and for the actual film it'll just be his right eye, and everything will be relatively fine, and then like the skin will come off during a fight, and then we'll just see like the eye plate, and it'll be fine. That's the dream for this.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's
Looks
Johnson.
alright.
Kung Lao. Lord Raiden. The fate of Earth is in our hands.
Raiden looks a little off. Oh, that was a shot of the group. Jax's arms look alright. I was unsure about this actor playing it because all I'd seen him in was Supergirl as Jimmy Olsen, which was baffling casting. But in here, he looks okay. I do think the pants look a bit off. I feel like the pants should be a tad baggier. Maybe have some like bigger pockets with some gear and stuff. Because that you know, like the way he looks in 2011, where he has the green pants like that. That's all I can really say. I think overall, he looks fine. Maybe like the little bits of extra metal here is a bit much. The arms look a bit too Michael Bay Transformers-ish. There's a bit too much detail, but I mean, that might just make it look cooler, you know, like having like the pistons and stuff moving underneath. Might look really cool in full motion. We'll see. And unfortunately, that meme of him looking like, what was it, Steve Harvey? That's only in that one shot, not here. Well, he's fighting a guy with a hammer who is probably going to be Reiko. So Jax is most likely going to fight Reiko in this film. It just got me thinking, how many characters in this are likely to die from the hero side? Because you assume that they're going to want to do a franchise out of this, not just the one movie, which means that characters are less expendable that way. Which is also one of the things I thought could have been kind of cool for MK to do. Could have been if, with the games, if every single game that came out, a bunch of the characters would not return for the sequels. Like, you got MK1, Liu Kang's the one who won the tournament, maybe like Scorpion and possibly like Johnny Cage come back, or Raiden, like everyone else is dead in the tournament, and then every game has a fresh roster. I thought that could have been interesting. Because, you know, the supposedly deadly tournament, one person died, and in the original story, it wasn't even in a tournament bout, it was the aftermath of the tournament that Bihan died, so... Yeah, but there's a shot of the... Damn it, give me that shot of the group. Yeah, okay. So there's Kano, and... You know, you just look at the group and, like, the costumes look really good. I guarantee we're going to get at least one costume pack for the based on this for MK11. Doubtful it'll be Sonya, if only because we already got a movie costume for her. Plus, that one is very similar to this. Like, this look is very similar to the original movie / the Sarah Connor influence Sonya clearly has. We'll probably get Kung Lao, and I hope we do. NetherRealm, if you give us the Kung Lao costume from the movie, whether it has the voice and likeness of this actor, please, for the love of God, let him have her. I'm sick of shaved head / bald Kung Lao. Even when you did MK3, where he had a fucking mullet, you made him bald. Stop it. Give us Kung Lao with her. And this is also very MK2-ish in its design, so I think this is a very good... One of the best live-action looks for any MK character, probably. Liu Kang looks fine. It's just like a basic traveling outfit. Conveys the colours correctly. Hopefully he'll get the bandana at some point. It'll probably be like torn off from his sash. It'll probably be like during a certain point he'll tear off a bit of the sash and tie it around his head, and that'll be for a fight. Which would be a really cool detail if that was for the final fight with Shang Tsung. But it won't be, because he's not the main character. This is the main character, who should have been Johnny Cage. even with the Cole stuff, like his backstory with the daughter, there's not really any reason that couldn't be Johnny Cage. Because I mean, I won't expect anyone involved in this to know this, but in the MK1 prequel comic, Johnny was stated to have an ex-wife, Cindy Ford. So he could have had a daughter from that previous marriage. He's a single father looking after her. Although it would probably be Cassie if they did that, and then Sonya would adopt her down the line in the sequels. But yeah, a Katana fan, which remains to be seen. Will that just be a reference to Katana, or will we actually get a Katana appearance in the film? Hopefully she'll show up in some form, and not just to die. Okay. Have to go back again. They seem to be taking a lot of the yellow out of Scorpion's design. I'm also not too fond of the samurai aesthetic in general for Scorpion. I mean, I get it. It's clearly drawing inspiration primarily from the MK11 look, and this is probably going to be one of the costumes we're going to get for in MK11. Scorpion, maybe Sub-Zero, probably Kung Lao and or Raiden. Well, Liu Kang, not Raiden, because Raiden already has one. It could be funny actually if Shang Tsung got one. So it's the original movie Shang Tsung were in the armor of this movie Shang Tsung, which is funny because when you look at the poster for Shang Tsung, he actually kind of looks like Karitagawa, which is kind of weird. But hopefully, this outfit will look better when we see it more. But I wonder if the yellow of the outfit will just be the flames, and then we won't get anything of real note. And look at this, like, so doesn't this look like he's got bandages and like red hair and black pants? Doesn't that look like Johnny Cage? I mean, I'm sure it's not. Like, it's probably like Quan Chi or something, but it kind of looks like Scorpion's about to fight Johnny Cage. Although even though I've heard that he's not actually in the film at all, and just set up for the sequel, and I hope they don't do what Rebirth did and just kill Johnny off, because Johnny has always been one of the best. Well, not always, but like for the longest time, has been one of the best characters the series has, and again, like, why not just have Johnny as the main character? I mean, ideally you would have Liu Kang as the main character, but if you want to go in a different direction, why not Johnny? No, I think the real baffling thing is that they're not having the Chinese guy as the main character, when you know WB's going to want to market this film for China. So having the Chinese lead who saves the world, like, it's certainly going to look better than the Chinese villain versus the white hero. I don't think China's going to go for that quite as much as they would have done if you kept it more accurate.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground,
Mileena?
we will not fail.
No. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. So, can't really tell who that is. Could be anyone. Could be a flashback. Could be just some generic fighter. This is something some people have said is an improvement over like the big Nosferatu teeth. You are wrong, unfortunately. This is just, she just has a slightly fucked up mouth. Like, even Legacy did more than this. Even though most of the time that mouth was like shut because it was like just spread off to the through the cheeks, and like a Glasgow smile, and it would like split a bit when she got more feral. Even fucking that on that minuscule budget that show had is better than this. This looks awful. So the design is just completely off in every regard. She's not even wearing like pink or purple, for fuck's sake, as far as we can tell. She's only Mileena in that she's a cannibal and has Psy. Like, you might as well have just not bothered at all. Hopefully she can at least, like, hopefully the actress can at least bring the personality of the character through, and the ferocity. But I just don't think it's gonna look. I don't think she'll look as animalistic with like those teeth stained red with blood compared to what we have in MK11, where like in MK11 she looks genuinely feral when she's showing off the teeth. So, I think in terms of the design altogether, it's a complete fail. It's all going to come down to the writing and the performance. And I just don't have enough faith in MK anymore for that to say that could work. I mean, for God's sake, look at that. They just took the MK11 Shao Kahn as the design idea for the statue. So when Kahn shows up in the post-credit scene, maybe admonishing Shang Tsung or being like, fine, I'll do it myself. Is he going to look like that? Or will he be like draped in shadow so they have time to change the design and come up with something better for the sequel? Because MK11 Shao Kahn is just an atrocious design all around. I think that's partly because of the abject failure that I associate with MK11 Shao Kahn, but I can't take him seriously when he has that design. So hopefully that's just considered an artist's rendition of the Emperor, and that he actually looks way closer to what he did in the game. I mean, you have that fucking that miniatures collection that's being made that we've seen prototypes of, and all the designs are from MK11. They'll use different designs to make the characters look as good as they can based on what's in MK11. With Kahn, though, they didn't bother. Fuck it. Just go with the MK2 look, because there's no salvaging any of Kahn's designs from MK11. So if Kahn looks like that in his inevitable cameo in the movie, no. Oh, it could be a funny bait and switch if that was Reiko. That's actually Reiko. That's his Shao Kahn armor. And then, the real Shao Kahn shows up and goes, "That was pathetic, Reiko." That would actually be quite clever, but I don't trust MK to be clever anymore. So,
Not fail. Kill them.
that's all Reptile. That's Smoke or Noob. Okay, so a few things to note. First, so there's some ninjas. That could be Smoke but that's definitely Reptile there. It looks kind of... Is that fur? I am worried. But we'll see. I mean, Shang looks good. There's glowing eyes on the armor in the poster for him. So that should be cool to see in the movie. Because Shang Tsung does have a few glowing gauntlets and stuff in MK11 to give you an idea of how that looks. It's cool. So in this, it's either a portal, like the rendition of a portal, or it's Smoke, or Noob Saibot. And there are so many ways this could be done if it is Noob. It could be that the Sub-Zero in this film is the one that's in this film. It could be Bi-Han, it could be Kuai Liang, and then the other one is dead already and is Noob. Or it could just be Sub-Zero and Smoke are working together. Maybe Bi-Han and Smoke are best friends in this, because maybe it's like Scorpion's Revenge, where they don't know the difference between the two Sub-Zeros, or even that there are two Sub-Zeros. Then your boy's got his headband, so I'd rather he drop this top at some point, but overall he looks fine. Hope he goes shirtless at some point. Fire Dragon. Pardon? Okay, so Goro is fighting... He looks like he's wearing armor, but it could just be like some kind of iron skin thing, because it does look like that. Hopefully it's not Goro coming in to kill Johnny Cage, but I'm kind of impressed that they just show Goro in a shot like this. The design's clearly based on MKX. Personally, I think that Goro actually looks better in Ready Player One, which just was the MKX design. I think he looks better in that, which is all CG. But this is just one shot. It's possible he'll look better in the actual film. We'll be seeing more than just this one shot where he's not just resting. He's clearly in the middle of action, so that might affect the way he comes across. I'm hoping that we don't have either Cole or Johnny Cage, as it could possibly be, depending, go up against him. Because if it was Johnny, I'm sure he would die. And if it's Cole, he's going to beat Goro and become the champion. Which I don't want. I don't want an OC to be the champion of Mortal Kombat. I want the actual proper character who is supposed to be the champion to be the champion. Sub-Zero. That shot everyone loves for some reason.
I am Sub-Zero.
This will probably be one of the costumes we get for the game, but I find it funny that this is it's like, you know, when everything goes black and then you just fade in like on a character saying, I am whoever I am. That's normally a major like the hero or the villain. Like you'd expect that to be, I am Cole Young, I am Liu Kang, I am Shang Tsung. Who the fuck is Sub-Zero in this movie? And this shot where he's just in a street and there's nothing else going on, so it looks really silly. Maybe they're just hiding what's supposed to be there by CGIing it out for the trailer. But it looks kind of goofy. But I've heard about some of the stuff in at least one version of the script from a few years ago at least, which has a scene like this. So, but there's the stuff I've seen in the trailer already that isn't the same as that. So, you know, either I heard some things wrong, or I'm misremembering it, or they've just changed some things. But I have a bit of an idea of where this is going to go. I mean, clearly this is leading up to the confrontation with Jax. Because I feel like it'd be weird for him to be in a street after he takes Jax's arms. Like, him taking Jax's arms, you imagine, would be like the last thing Sub-Zero does in like a normal Earthrealm setting before the tournament. And then we get some nice shots of Liu Kang, and I don't know, just seeing like the red sash and the white top. What I'm reminded of is Mortal Kombat Baraka, because that's kind of what he looked like, and I can't unsee it. It's Mortal Kombat Baraka with a bandana fighting someone. It could be anyone. Now this, you got the yellow rim here, so it's probably Scorpion. In fact, they're showing that alongside Sub-Zero stuff, suggests it'll be Scorpion. But then I look at the green eyes and I think, kind of looks like Ermac, which is what I thought was going to be the reveal when you start hearing I am. I was like, it sounds like the voice you would have for Ermac for Sub-Zero. Just listen.
I am Sub-Zero.
A bit of a growl, almost sounds like there's multiple people. That's what you'd expect Ermac to sound like. This mask has Noob Saibot vibes, particularly the central part, because it's like the Geiger-esque design elements from MK11 that they really shied away from in story mode. And it's like, why'd you shy away from that in favour of like the dumb metal thing where you can see his ears and it looks goofy as fuck? This is why customization should be a thing that we can have in the story mode, guys. So we can fix the mistakes or just put the movie designs in. Because this would be better, I think, than Sub-Zero's actual story mode outfit. Same with Scorpion, really. So we're going to see a shot of Scorpion fighting Sub-Zero. AKA Sub-Zero's final scene, because he's going to lose. And not just because, canonically, he does in the games, but also because it's Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. Of course, Scorpion's going to fucking win. Okay, so my guess is that this is while he's pursuing the heroes before or after taking Jax's arms, and then Scorpion's going to show up to fight him, not to be a hero, but to get revenge, and that'll give the heroes a chance to escape. That's my guess. And it's like, so the bits we're seeing here is pretty good, some decent action bits. Hopefully it won't just be like a one-sided thing, and hopefully it won't just cut away in the middle of the fight. You know, like when you get like a fight in the CW where it's like Green Arrow and the villain run up to each other, they go and jump to attack or run at each other, and then we cut away to another scene and then cut back. Don't do that, guys. That's awful editing. Never do that. Only villains do that.
Get over here.
No! Don't do this, no. I get not wanting to rely on Ed Boon, especially if Scorpion's actually going to speak. I mean, it was fine in the 95 movie because he only had like 3 lines, so just having Ed Boon do all of them was fine. You want to take the character of Scorpion / Hanzo more seriously, you give him his own voice. That was an area where MKX kind of fucked up a bit in the story mode. So you have him say his own way. In Legacy, that was great, because at least in Season 1, he said it in Japanese, which was a really cool little take on it. You know, normally when you have a line that sounds bad, it's in the actual film, not the trailer. The trailer version usually sounds better. I mean, we've heard it like, part-time. You know, we've all seen that before. Hopefully this is just another case of that, where it's like they've using a different take for the trailer and it'll sound better in the movie. That's always a possibility. It's also possible that this entire sequence is lies and is not in the actual movie, because we've all seen marketing like that in the last few years. That's a possibility too. Another repeat shot. And worse is a big black part. Like the black screen lasts longer than the actual shot. Why? I want to know who edited this thing. But at the very least, looking at Scorpion's armor, it does seem to be a bit... Well, it just seems to be a bit more gold rather than black. It might have just been the light in that other scene. Which is funny, because here he's surrounded by blue, so you'd think that would influence the lighting a bit more and make it look more black. But no, this is... Seems like a more neutral almost. But yeah, it's a bit of a golden-ish hue, and you can see little bits of yellow there. So the outfit is looking better, although the yellow rim does look a little silly. I think if it was thinner, perhaps if the hood had a bit of a point, like an Assassin's Creed one, to be more reflective of the Scorpion and his spear, that'd be good. But yeah, they're definitely going for like an MK11 style Scorpion here. Ooh, here's one. Let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen when they inevitably put this costume into MK11? Regardless of whether they use the actor's face or likeness, do you think that the eyes will be accurate to the movie? Because that has been a real problem with Scorpion's DLC costumes, which he's not had many of. You'd think he would have had more, but I've always thought that's probably just holding out until the movie, so they can do a movie costume pack, which will have Scorpion, Sub-Zero, probably like Liu Kang and Kung Lao, something like that.
Get over here!
Who was that? Oh, that's I'm pretty sure that's Cole. I don't know. I'm not sure about the physics of that pull. Who knows? Maybe I'm not a physicist. It's also possible that there's just more that we don't see here. But yeah, falling through that metal so it shatters, not bad. How will Scorpion be portrayed? Will he be like, "Fuck you, dude, I didn't do it for you, Bababaka"? Or will it be, "Hey guys, I'm actually a super cool hero guy in this movie, so, you know, be sure to buy the DLC for the game." Then we have the logo, and I'm not fond of the logo. I mean, you guys remember how I wasn't fond of the random changing of the eye in the logo for in MKX, like the second game of the reboot series, not the first. And you think that would have been the time to do it, but they didn't. This, I don't know, it just feels like a change for the sake of it. I would have preferred a more classic style logo. The music in the trailer's good though. I mean, I don't know if you can go wrong with like a remix or re-rendition of Techno Syndrome, because it is just classic. It works. I think they should do more renditions of that in different styles. Like, do like a more of a rock/metal version. Don't do a rap one though. Don't put rap in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's history with rap is questionable at best. And let's see what this final shot's going to be, because that's how trailers are structured. After the logo, you see one more bit. Well, it should be a comedy bit or an action bit, or just a hint of something to come later. Like, this is where you might expect to see Goro, caped in shadow. But we've already seen Goro, so it won't be that. It'll probably be Cole fighting Shang Tsung or something dumb with Raiden.
Kano wins. You fucking beauty.
Oh, that's why it's a red band trailer. Because they show a bunch of fatality bits right at the end. So Jax punches this guy, probably punches his eyeball out. When we know Jax can do that, even without the metal arms. So that's probably what happens there. This appears to be Sonya murdering Mileena, which I feel like showing any fatalities involving actual. Oh, no, it's it looks like it's Cole killing Mileena. Yeah, like showing any fatalities in the trailer, unless it's like when Sub-Zero throws that random dude in the original movie. That's a bad idea, because that just tells you who lives and who dies. So, yeah, I'm just going to spoil it all. So there's Scorpion killing some dude. Mileena, does she successfully stab Sonya's arm? It's hard to say. The teeth still look awful. I don't like this Mileena look, and I pray it doesn't make it into MK11. Like, if all the costumes from this movie were going to be put into MK11, except for one, I'd say don't put Mileena in, because it looks awful. And Kano seems to be killing... Seems to be Reptile. It's Deadly Alliance style. And you fucking beauty. The thing about that one is, I'm pretty sure you could show that even not in a red band trailer, because the blood's green. So's the heart.
Wins. You fucking beauty.
And that's the trailer. Overall, I think the costumes look fine. Obviously, some are a bit weak, like Mileena. Like the costume's kind of like everything, including the makeup and such. And there's some misses, like Mileena. Kano's outfit's fine, but the lack of the faceplate is bad. But that could become a thing later, either from like him overdoing it and like burning the flesh away, or him taking severe damage to his face. It's also weird that they've got Sonya, Jax, and Kano in the movie, and the trailer doesn't suggest any kind of connection between them at all. I get the feeling that Kano's going to be a hero who turns villain at the end and fights Sonya or something. I mean, I guess it's nice to have Kano be something other than just Sonya's rival for once, because that's all he's been for well over a decade. I feel like Kano's probably going to be like the main comic relief guy, the role Johnny Cage would normally have. It's just so baffling. Like, why are we dropping Johnny Cage for Kano and an OC? Terrible idea. And I'm just anticipating some dumb shit for a sequel where Katana shows up, played by Melina's actress, and she's like, oh no, that was my evil clone who died. And it'll feel incredibly contrived for anybody who isn't familiar with the games. They'll be like, that sounds awful. Oh yeah, it was my evil twin who died. I'm alive. Like a fucking soap opera. The setup for it with this particular cast of characters, not digging it. The fact that they keep going on about the fact, yeah, there's going to be fatalities. Like, I don't care. I'm not what, like, if I want to see MK fatalities, I can get that from the games. But like, a good MK story is not something I can get from the games anymore. That's what I want here. I want the story to be done justice for fucking once. That's what I want you guys to focus on. Tell me, assure me. The story's going to be accurate to the games. I don't give a fuck about the violence. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's never mattered for any MK adaptation. If anyone uses the lack of violence as a knock against any of those adaptations, they are a fucking fool and should not be listened to. Music was good. The visuals are fine. Like, it seems to be competently shot and directed. We don't get a lot of shots of actual fight scenes, and the ones we do get are very brief, so it's hard to really gauge how good the action's going to be, which I think is a mistake. Johnny Cage would be the perfect character to use for marketing stuff. Just like have a bunch of trailers with Johnny Cage. It's like Johnny's making a movie based on the events, and so you have like is Johnny doing the choreography for a scene based on the events that happened in the film. That happened in real life to him. And so he's doing the choreography for these fights, and that gives you an idea of what it'll be like in the actual film in a comedic way that doesn't give too much away. But I'm just talking about the movie I would want to make. Not particularly interested in the film. I'm obviously going to watch it at some point. Do not ask me for my opinion on the movie. Do not ask me if I will make a video on the movie. Do not ask me when I will make a video on the movie. I will make a video on the movie at some point. I just don't know when. It will happen eventually. Just calm down, all right? I wasn't expecting to go on this long. I was expecting to just sit there and watch the trailer go and go, ooh, that is a Sub-Zero. Yes, Scorpion. Yes. Ooh, no, that Get Over Here sounded awful, and that would be it. That was my expectation. But this is what you guys get. Now, this has to take priority to be topical, to take priority over the video I was already working on. And then after that, I can get back to the actual proper MK video I'm working on. This is what you people do to me. It's your fault. If this movie's bad, it's also your fault. For some reason, the fact that my life is spiraling into this well of misery, like the game over screen in MK4, it's your fault. I don't have a joke to go here, so